I never imagined one choice, one night, could unravel years of love, trust, and quiet mornings spent side by side. But that's exactly what it did. And the cruelest part wasn't even the act itself. It was what it revealed about me, about who I allowed myself to become. My name is Claire. I'm 34. For 7 years, I was married to Daniel, a man who didn't just love me, he believed in me completely. We met in college, built our world from nothing, and moved in perfect rhythm. Daniel was steady, patient, the kind who always found light in people, especially in me. But when someone loves you that deeply, you forget. Even the strongest heart can crack without a sound. It began quietly. Late nights, missed dinners, the slow drift that wears disguises, fatigue, stress, routine. Daniel had taken on a new project, the kind that swallows hours and attention. I kept telling myself it was temporary, that once things settled, we'd find our way back. But loneliness has a voice, soft, convincing, cruel. It whispers that you deserve to be seen again, that the ache in your chest isn't your fault. And I listened. His name was Matt, a coworker. It wasn't love, not even real attraction. It was attention. A smile when I looked worn out. A compliment when I needed one. A question asked at the right moment. I told myself I could handle it, that it was harmless, innocent. I was wrong. The night it happened, Daniel had fallen asleep early, exhausted. I remember watching him in the faint glow of the lamp, his face calm, trusting. And something in me cracked. Not guilt, not yet. Just emptiness. The next day, I crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. It wasn't passionate or romantic, no fireworks, no thrill. Just a fleeting moment that felt both meaningless and irreversible. When it ended, I drove home shaking. I stood in the shower until the water ran cold, scrubbing my skin raw, as if I could rinse off the shame. For weeks, nothing changed. Daniel didn't know. He still kissed me goodbye in the morning, still asked if I wanted tea at night. But I had changed. My laughter felt forced, my smile hollow. He saw it. One evening, he looked at me over dinner and asked softly, "You've been distant. Is everything okay?" I froze. The truth pressed at the back of my throat, desperate to escape. But I lied. I said I was tired, that work was draining. And he nodded, because that's what good men do. They believe you. It went on like that for months. I tried to be the wife I used to be, to love him like before. But guilt doesn't rest. It lingers, in every silence, every touch, every glance too long to hold. Then one evening, he found the message. Just one text. Matt asking if I was okay after the other night. I'll never forget the sound of Daniel's voice when he called my name. It wasn't anger or rage, just quiet disbelief wrapped in heartbreak. He didn't shout, didn't accuse. He simply stood there, phone trembling in his hand, eyes searching mine for something. Regret, truth, maybe hope. I tried to explain, to speak about loneliness, about how small I'd felt. But my words were empty. He just nodded once, slow, final, as if something inside him had settled. Then he said, "I thought we were stronger than this." That was it. No argument. No goodbye. Just silence, sharp and endless. He left that night. Took only what he needed, his laptop, his keys, his peace. And since then, that silence has been deafening. The first morning without him felt unreal. His side of the bed already cool, the shape of him fading from the sheets. The house was too still, too clean, like it had erased the sound of us. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the hollow where his pillow used to be, and something inside me caved in. I told myself he just needed space, that when the pain faded, he'd come home. We'd talk. I'd cry. He'd forgive me. And somehow, I believed we'd rebuild what I'd broken. But days turned into weeks, and he never came back. At first, I sent messages, long, trembling apologies that said everything and nothing. It was a mistake. I miss you. Please just talk to me. But he never replied. His silence became its own language, cold, steady, final. Friends told me he'd rented a small apartment near his office. They said he looked thinner, quieter, older. I wanted to see him, to fall at his feet, to beg him to hate me if he couldn't love me anymore. But he never gave me that chance. Months later, I saw him at a cafe downtown. He sat by the window, a book in hand, sunlight cutting through the glass and catching the side of his face. He looked peaceful, lighter, free. He noticed me before I could turn away. Our eyes met for a heartbeat, one sharp, shattering second. In it, I felt everything. The love that built us, the betrayal that ruined us, and the quiet acceptance that followed. He didn't look angry, just finished. I left before he could stand. Cried in the car, not because he ignored me, but because I realized he'd found peace, and it no longer included me. That's when it hit me. His silence wasn't punishment. It was healing. For him, at least. For me, it was a sentence. Every night, I replay that last conversation. The tremor in his voice when he said, "I thought we were better than this." The look in his eyes, the kind that holds love and loss at once. I try to remember his laughter, but all I hear is the silence he left behind. People say time heals everything, but time has only sharpened the edges of his absence. Sometimes I still find his handwriting, quick notes in drawers, grocery lists, milk, coffee, cinnamon. Simple things. Fragments of a life that used to be ours. I keep them, as if someday they might spell out forgiveness. I've thought about calling him just once, to say I still love him. To tell him I finally understand that what I destroyed wasn't only a marriage, it was a man who loved me without conditions. But I don't call. I can't, because I know he's moved on. And because, deep down, I don't deserve to disturb his peace again. I still work at the same office. Still pass by the coffee shop where it all began. I stopped talking to Matt the day Daniel walked out. No confrontation, no drama, just silence again. If I could go back to that night, I'd choose loneliness over regret. I'd choose to hold Daniel's hand as he slept instead of letting the emptiness convince me to stray. Because loneliness fades, guilt doesn't. The house feels smaller now, crowded with echoes of what used to be. Sometimes I whisper his name just to hear it in the air again. There's never an answer, only that quiet, unrelenting silence. The one that reminds me, every day, of what I lost. People ask if I've forgiven myself. I haven't. Maybe I never will. Maybe some mistakes don't need punishment. They're the punishment. And mine lives in the space between his last words and his silence. That silence haunts me more than his anger ever could.